Oh, Stamati, we're back for another episode. Two blokes in the pod. It hasn't been feeling like two blokes in the pod lately.
We've had a few.
We've had like back-to-back guests. It's been really good, really good. Last week was hilarious.
It was.
The outcome of having Rags on the show. Hold that thought because I have to tell you a funny story about the Rags. But after having him on the show. He invited me to go do a couple of, laughs with him.
Yes.
And our next guest is heavily involved in those laughs. But I'll tell you what, did I have a laugh?
It looked like you had a bit of fun. I did see those couple of clips there, and it looked like you were enjoying yourself a bit too much.
It was all natural.
It
was all natural. I wasn't even told what to do. It was like just... All right, this is the concept. This is what we want. I'm like, yep, no worries, done. Yep, God, mate.
And one take, yeah?
That Aussie neighbour one, holy shit. I'm like, I should be the Greek, but I actually pulled off the Aussie quite well. I reckon I did. It was really good. It was really good. But look, I reckon what we'll do, let's get into our episode because it's jam-packed.
Yep.
I'm so goddamn excited tonight because we have a superstar. The studio with us.
We do.
Absolute superstar. All right. So should we get it rolling?
Let's get it rolling, mate.
This is Two Blokes in a Pod.
Hey, what is that?
The podcast where, well, it's a bit of this, a bit of that.
I don't understand.
Just blokey laughs and blokey chats.
Okay.
Whatever it is, let's get started.
And we're here. Hey, Kieran, welcome to the podcast.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming
This
along.
guy is a very well-known face in Adelaide. We've got 330,000 followers.
330,000 followers on TikTok, 110K on Facebook, and about 35 on Instagram. Yeah.
Now,
okay.
Did this all start from 2020?
No, so I've been doing, and I've got 28K on YouTube as well. I've been doing social media now for about, since I was about 11 years old. And it started really in my backyard where I'd get Nerf guns and I'd do make short films. And ever since I was probably 10 or 9, I knew that I always wanted to make short films or movies. That was my big thing. So I said, stuff the haters, I'm just going to make a YouTube channel. And this was back in the YouTube day where everyone wanted to be a YouTuber. When 11-year-olds would say, that's my dream job. I don't want to be an astronaut anymore. That's what I want to do. So I said to myself in about year 7, that's it. I'm going to do it. And it got into the point where people were playing my YouTube clips at school and they were like, oh, you're such a loser. Don't do that. And I was like, nah, I know what I'm doing. This is what I want to be and this is what I want to do. So I made them and they were Nerf gun short form videos that would get 5, 10 views, but I was loving what I was doing. And then it probably hit about year 8 or 9 where I was like, yeah, I'm kind of past the Nerf gun videos now. Let's just stop for a bit. And then really a big motivator for me was in 2015 when a YouTuber called Casey Neistat started his YouTube vlog. And that just really changed everything for me because I watched that first vlog and it was very similar to how I wanted to do short films and film creation, all that type of stuff. And I remember saying to myself, if I don't do this now, I'm going to regret it in 10 years or I'm just not going to be able to fulfill my passion. So the first vlog I filmed was at the start of year 12 in 2016 and I'd just gotten this camera which is a $400 shitty camera from Dick Smith or whatever it was, and I said to myself, I'm just going to
there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, not around
That's
anymore.
still around,
What's it called now? Kogan?
Yeah, something like that.
Is that still around?
Well, JB's bought up everyone. That's what's happening. Let's be real. But yeah, I remember doing that and I had no idea. And I remember filming the whole thing and thinking, man, this is really great. I'm going to be viral. And then I look back at the footage and all the footage was blue. And I was saying to myself, the white balance is off, Kieran. What are you doing? And it was a really good story. It was about how we're just going to hang out. And I said to myself, no, don't do it. Don't upload it. And Mum said to me, nah, just upload it. Just see what happens. Uploaded it, got 500 views. And at that point, I'd only had 2 subscribers. Now, a lot of the people were commenting saying the footage is blue. But I was like, whatever, let's just do it. And then my big goal with that was that I was going into year 12 and I wanted to be able to look back 10 years on my final year of school. That was a big thing for me. So I recorded everything. I recorded my life, recorded my friends, recorded my school formal. And it kind of became this thing where at the start of the year, I was this loser that was doing YouTube, where I got to halfway through the year and I got 500 subscribers, and I was known as the guy that was doing these YouTube videos. And people would get me to film interviews at school. They'd get me to film the formal, all that type of stuff. And I kind of got to the thing where I was a bit of an outsider, really, for those early days of doing those YouTube content creations, to really being this guy of, oh yeah, Kieran's a YouTube guy, I know him, and doing that. And it was really good because earlier in like those days, I was getting bullied a lot for doing that type of stuff because it was like out of the box. I wasn't a jock. Like, look at me. And so, yeah, it was really good for that. That's when I kind of knew, which was like August of 2016. I was like, this is what I have to do. And this is what I'm put onto this earth to do. And then I said to myself, well, how can I make this happen? And pretty much every man and his dog at that point was like, I'm going to do YouTube as well. So I said, let's condense down my thinking and let's go do a uni degree and lock that down, because really I couldn't have cared less if I'd done the uni degree, but mum and dad were like, you're doing a uni degree. So I was like, pick the one that's like the closest to what I want to do, which was film and content creation.
Yep.
And I went on the first day and I was like, I don't know if I like this. And I fell in love with it. Had the best 3 years at uni, met all my best mates.
Awesome.
Got pissed drunk every weekend. It was the best thing ever.
Awesome.
That's why you liked uni, wasn't
Correct.
it?
It was the best.
From what he remembers of it anyway.
Correct.
Didn't learn anything about
No,
film, but
nothing at all.
definitely knew how to mix the vodka.
Correct. Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, mate. I was actually working at Woolies 3 nights a week, and that was funding my weekend. So I would do 3 shifts and $300, and I would go out with the boys on the weekend and would just piss away.
Nice.
And it was good because I wasn't paying rent at that point either. And then I graduated with high distinction, ironically, even though I was drunk every weekend, from uni. And then I was like, fuck, I have to get a real job. What am I going to do now? And I submitted my final not test, but assignment for uni on October, and then the day after, Big Brother auditions came out. And I was a big Survivor person, always loved Survivor, always loved the strategy behind that with people, like backstabbing people and all that type of stuff. So I was like, look, they said that it was a new format where you would be evicting people, so I kind of thought, okay, this would be great. Did the audition tape hungover, and then the rest of the story happened from there. But yeah, it's crazy.
So tell me what it was like getting the call.
So it was a really crazy experience, because you think when you're applying for something like that, it's going to be, you'll find out in a month, yes or no. It was apply, then it was probably 3 months worth of steps straight up.
Wow.
Yeah, so you went to apply, you got a phone call, and I just literally sold my soul on that phone call and was like, I'll do anything you want if you give me a shot. And the guy could obviously tell that I would be good for that. So he was like, cool, you're through to the next round. Got an email, and I was like...
how many people applied, and then the next stage?
So all up, when we all got in the house, 58,000 people applied, and 24 of us were chosen, which was like winning the lottery for me. I was like,
wow.
Holy crap, I can't believe this. And then when in the early stages, I got called to the festival centre to do like a cattle call, they call it, and 300 people rock up to one session, and there are 3 sessions throughout the day, so you think I'm up against 900 people here, what's going on? And you go through these steps. But I knew I was in for a really good shot, because I rocked up to that audition, and there were these...
Were you piss drunk?
No. I was sober for this one. I was sober for
Just checking. Just checking.
No, I made sure that I was sober for that one, and I rocked up into this room, huge room in the festival centre, and they had these colours on the wall with seats, and the front row was blue, and there was only 4 seats there, so I thought, I'm not going to get anywhere near that. It's all good. I'll probably be near the back. Probably not going to get any further. Well, walked up to the woman at the front, and she said, what's your name? I said, Kieran Davidson. She goes, you're in the blue seats. I was like, I'm in the front row here of 300 people. That must mean something. Got called through, and you're sitting like a producer like we are now, and they're like, tell me everything. You've got 2 minutes or we're kicking you out. And I'm like, all right, well, I can do this, I can backstab, I want to be the villain, I don't care about my reputation, I want to go on this show and literally lie, cheat, manipulate people. And producers just sitting there like, holy crap, this guy's like
fucking
amazing, because he'll give us TV gold, he'll do whatever he said. And she's like, cool, that's exactly what I want to hear. Then I got cut down to 20 of 300 in the next room. And it was the same thing where it was
same day?
This is all the same day. This is like a 5.5 hour process you're going through.
Wow.
And got put through to the next room, and the woman, the executive producer, was sitting there, and she said, okay, I'm going to give you each a topic, and you have to talk to me in front of everyone for 2 minutes off the top of your head.
This is 25 people.
This is 25 people after being in the room of 300. I'm like, this is my shot. I got to do it.
Fucking getting this.
Correct, yeah. And she's like, okay, I'm going to give you a topic, and it's going to be a TED Talk, and you have to act as if it's your TED Talk. And I got trees talking to each other.
Oh,
And
fucking
I'm
hell.
like, fuck me. You've got to be
Please.
kidding me, man. So she's like, go. Stumble my way through it, stutter, stuff up the entire thing, blank.
Tell me what you said.
I was like, trees talk to one another because they're part of the environment and dogs love them and all this. That's all I remember. I blacked out pretty much. I was like, what's going on here? Yeah,
Talking
it was
about
cool.
trees.
Anyway, then, yeah, it was ridiculous. Then she's like, sit down. Then she's like, okay, we're going to play this game where we throw a mini ball around the room. You catch the ball. And I'll give you a topic and you have to talk about it. And I got social media. And at that point,
God.
my driving videos had already gone viral. So I was like, I'm just going to flex them. And I was like, yeah, I've done 100 million views. I've been on the Today Show project. I've done this. And I was looking at the executive producer's eyes and you could see her eyes were like lighting up. And I was like, thank fuck. Then I was like, I've done everything I can. Flex my way through this. Let's just hope and pray it works. Got home, because I was so excited from the night before, I didn't sleep at all. So I got home, took a nap, and while I was asleep, I had a missed call from the executive producer being like, can you come back one-on-one tomorrow? And I was like, holy shit, I might actually get this. Then it was one-on-one. This was like a big... executives from Channel 7 were there that had flown in. They were like, this is the time to sell your soul to us and tell us like why you got to be on. This is going to be the one shot. So
for that 25 people, are they still in the running now, or had it been?
Well, I don't know.
come
That's
down?
the thing. So those 25 people walked out with no answer. So then I left, got a call, and I was really good friends. I'd made a friend, of course, because I'm chatting all the time with people. I made a friend in the audition. Her name is Mary. Shout out, Mary, if you're watching this. And yeah, I'm still really good friends with her to this day. And it was good because she rang me and was like, oh, yeah, like 3 days later, I haven't heard anything. And she was like, what happened with you? I was like, yeah, I didn't hear anything. But thinking in my head, okay, well, she didn't get through. So meaning that they must have cut the 25 to like 5. So then went to the one-on-one with the executive producers and just sat down and was like, this is what I can offer you. This is what I can do. I'm willing to go in there, be like, because they were very scared, I think, about this new format because they'd signed on with it. And Big Brother is a big name in reality TV.
Yeah, of course.
So just a pause for a sec.
Yeah.
This
Sorry
is
if I'm chatting too fast as
No,
well.
no,
I'm
no.
very excited.
Is this the first time that Channel 7 had picked up the program?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were shit scared. That
Yeah.
like in the audition,
Because it was on Channel 10 and it stopped for a few years.
It bombed.
There was a
So
gap.
It was
yeah.
really good. It went really well on Channel 9 with like your Tim Dormers, your Reggie was on 9. I can't remember, but 10 back in the day. They were all doing well until about 2013. They did the 2014 season and it all went to shit. It like their audience dropped. So they would roughly get, I think it was like 5 million viewers, which for TV is like fucked. 5 million live consecutive viewers watching every season opening night, I think it was. And I think it dropped to like 500,000 on opening night of 2014.
Which is the one where they literally cut halfway through? Was there one that they
That was
stopped?
the last season.
Was it they stopped halfway through the season and they just dropped the show?
That was like last season. Yeah. So that's last season.
that
That's 2022. I'll tell you about that in a bit. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got all the info there as well. Yeah. So then that was all good. They did 500,000 2014 and then axed it. And then going back to my audition, you're right. This is the first time they'd picked it up. And they were, from the impression that I got walking into that room, it was like, we have to find 24 people here that are going to reinvigorate this because we've... And what got me was, and all the housemates that will agree with this now, is why they didn't bring it back live on Channel 7 where we could evict each other and the audience had some say, they would have had better ratings, but they did it like a Survivor, which was great for the 2020 version because we're in the middle of a pandemic and everyone's at home watching TV. So opening night for that, we got 2 million viewers tuning in.
Oh, perfect.
And now I'm just like at home, I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted. Executive producers rubbing their hands together and they're like, this is going to be great. Then I launched it in 2021 and I think it went down to like 400,000. So the same thing happened because everyone's out then having beers, enjoying life, you know what I mean? Because like a pandemic was on. But anyway, go back to my audition. I remember being in the room and she was like walking me through it all and I sold my soul. And I was leaving the room and the executive producer looked me dead in the eye and goes, oh, by the way, don't get your license before you go in the house. And I was like, before I go in the house, what do you mean? Am I in? She goes, just don't get your license. That's what I'm going to say. Because they wanted to use my driving videos as my backstory for Big Brother of me going in. So that was like, I had no idea then. I had no confirmation if I was in, but that was like a big green tick for me.
Oh, 100%.
And I walked down, I rang mum and dad and I was like, what do you think? Because they're kind of like, they've got a bit of a media background as well. And they were like, yeah, we reckon you're in. We'll start, like, we got to start like prepping for you're going to be going. Then there was nothing for 8 weeks. Nothing. Didn't hear from them about anything. I thought, fuck, I haven't gotten anything.
They didn't give you like a...
They got me a sheet. Oh no! Well,
A
the
time-
The next day, I had to fill out all this medical forms, send it back, and they said, we'll be in touch. Didn't hear anything for 8 weeks. And
at this point, you still didn't... Oh, so at this point, you still didn't know whether you were in or not?
No. I'm just assuming
you're in.
Her comment.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever. Anyway, nothing. Well, maybe not 8 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. It was a long time. It was longer than a month. I remember hitting a month and saying to my best mate, Ruben, nah, I'm not in. And then I got a call randomly, and it was like, hi, this is Ashley from Big Brother. And I was thinking to myself... this will be the denial call. This is you're not in. Thank you very much for your time. She's like, can you jump on a phone call with our psychologist tomorrow? And I'm like, psychologist? Am I still in the running? And she's like, yeah, we've had like Christmas and stuff, and it's been really busy. But no, you're for Australia wide, you're in the top 30. And I'm like,
ooh.
And there's how many contestants?
24. So I'm like, I'm so close now. Like, what's going on? Now this is like.
So if he wasn't in the first slot, he'd be in as an intruder.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So then it got to like early January. This is early January now. Now remember, I auditioned for them late September. So I've been waiting for a long time. And then when I did the final forms that I told you about, the medical forms, that was probably, that would be probably end of October. So I've waited a good month and a bit to hear from these people. I'm like, psychologists, I started interviewing for marketing jobs. I was like, I'm moving on. Like, I'm not in.
Yeah.
And she was like, I was like, why is it taking you so long? Like, I've got a few job interviews this week. And she's like, Kieran, don't go to the job interviews, go on the call. And I'm like, well, okay, that's giving me more indication. Got on the call, and you have to do like an interview with a psychologist before you go on these things to make sure that you're not like criminally insane and you're not going to stab people when you get in the house. Type thing. That's the vibe I got. She was like,
"That enough for a police clearance?"
No, there was a police check that you did have to do as well. Yeah. And I thought to myself, she asked me like, "Have you had any like murderous thoughts?" And I was like, I laughed, and she's like, "No, I'm serious." I'm like, okay, wow, all right. So they were like asking questions like finding out if like you're a psychopath. That was the analysis I had. Don't sue me, Endemol Shine. That's just the Endemol I had. That's just the assumption I had of what was happening. But
did he sign an NDA? Like,
yeah, no, I'm good. I'm out of the NDA now. It's been 4 years. We're all good. And then it was another 3 weeks, and we're coming up to probably around this time of year that we are now. It was probably the 20th of January, and I said to Mum, I've auditioned for this at the end of September, and I'm still waiting. And then I got the call. I was hungover, ironically. I'd gone out the night before. Stupid me, because I thought I'm not going to get it. Woke up to the phone ringing, and then I answered, and I'm like, I thought this will be it. This is the call. Because every time they rang me, I had Big Brother 1, Big Brother 2, Big Brother 5, Big Brother 6 saved on my phone. So this was Big Brother EP pick up as the contact. And I was like, okay, shit, this is going to be it. So I answered, hello? Deadline. I'm like, hello? Deadline. Nothing. Hang up. I'm like, well, maybe they weren't meant to ring me. Get a text from her. Hey, sorry, reception is really bad. Can I call you back in 2 minutes? And I'm like, serious right now?
You guys are in a multi-million-dollar show. You can't get a good line.
Reception. She brings me back and she goes, oh, Kieran, how are you? This is the woman that said to me, don't get your driver's license. This is her. She's the big boss of the whole show. And she goes, Kieran, how you been? Like the fluff talk. And I'm like, yeah, I've been great. Cut the shit and tell me if I'm in or if I'm out. And she goes, you're in. I'm like, what do you mean I'm in? And she's like, you leave in a month. Get your shit together. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, we're booking your plane ticket today. We'll send it to you. You leave on Feb 20th and you're going in the house on the 24th. I'm like, fuck me. And then I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then I hung up the phone. I was seen to be going, yes, throughout my entire house. My dog was losing it. And then I said to my mum the night before I'd gone out, if I get a call tomorrow, I'll ring you at work. So I instantly rang her, and she said, she's a teacher. So she's like, kids, keep drawing. Yeah, hello. And I'm like, no, I didn't get it. Just to fuck with it. She goes, it's all right. I'm just kidding. I got it. And she's like screaming down the phone. I'm like, oh my God. And they were really happy, really supportive. And then it was, get your shit together, pack. Had to send them all photos of like what I'd wear in the house. I had to approve everything I was wearing, all these clothes. Then they had to come film my backstory at my house. So 5.5 hour interview where you sit down and producers just fire questions at you like, how are you going to win the game? How are you going to backstab people? All that type of stuff. And then, got in on the 20th and I was the first person in. And I was like,
yes, I remember this.
Is this a fucking dream? I was running around and they deliberately they gave me like a secret mission and all that stuff on night one. And I got in there and I was like, I didn't really believe I was. And the thing was too, is that I told some of my best friends I was went on a night out, and then had gone around in the beer garden that I was going to be on Big Brother. And I'm like, oh, fuck me, I'm not going to. Like, I didn't actually believe I was in until I was in the house because I thought Adelaide's a small place. People will tell people and people will tell people. And then got
You're
in.
not allowed to tell anyone?
No, I'm not allowed to tell anyone except your family. But of course, you get on the beers, and I was just like to my mate Ruben, yeah, I'm fucking in, yeah. But it's all good. I'm not a part of the NDA anymore. We're all good. Then I was in the house for probably, if I'm talking too much, let me know.
No,
keep going, mate.
Roll with it.
I was in the house for 3.5 weeks, and then we got called into like the diary room, and there was 24 in probably about 3.5 weeks because someone got evicted every second day.
Yes.
And I was nominated 8 times. So I was losing my shit thinking I was going to go home every time. So I would just like do everything I can. And I was known as the cockroach in my season because they couldn't kill me. That was like they couldn't evict me because I'd always be up for nomination, but I would always convince the right amount of people to keep me in it. So then we got 3.5 weeks in and we got called into the diary room during the day. And now we had these things called off days. So we're called off days where the cameraman had 1 day off per week and it was just the wall cameras in the house. So the big thing about Big Brother was you would always talk about strategy and who you're going to evict with people. But on these off days, you couldn't. You weren't allowed to. Which for me did my head in because it was the only thing that would keep me like sane, like enjoying the day, like giving me something to do. Boredom was huge. You couldn't sleep during the day either in there because they would always want to be filming. So I would go up to someone and I'd be like, oh, let's evict so-and-so. And then like a producer's voice come over and be like, Kieran, stop talking about strategy. And I'm like, fuck me. Anyway, on this day, I got called into the diary room and the executive producer was like, oh, we're going to have to put the game on hold. And we're like, what do you mean the game? Well, we've got 2.5 weeks left where one of us is going to win $250,000. And she's like, yeah, COVID-19. And we're like, what's COVID-19? Because Of
course, you would have been in the house when it became big.
We flew over. I flew over on a packed plane like this on January 20th, and then 3.5 weeks later, I'm in the house hearing about people stealing. We didn't believe it. Sonia Kruger said to us in the eviction room, people are fighting over toilet paper, and we all laughed. And she goes, no, it's like serious out here. And then the executive producer was like, these are the case numbers. And for someone like, I'm not sure if you've ever been told something where you just physically can't understand what they're meaning. That was us. Because being told that people like hundreds of thousands of people are sick and COVID-19, you didn't really believe it. You know what I mean? You were just like...
So when you were in the house and you just get told that hundreds of thousands of people, what was the first thing that crossed your mind? Like a zombie apocalypse or something?
I was like, so what do you mean people are infected? And they're like, yeah, there's case numbers. And my biggest thing was like, fuck, I hope my parents are okay, my sister's okay, because my dad has an autoimmune disease just like I do as well, so he would be like really immune to it. And they let us do a phone call, which they showed on TV, and when the executive producer was talking to us, they dubbed in Big Brother's voice, so it was kind of all that, and they showed it all on TV. And spoke to mum and dad, they were all good. But we were like, it really hit me, because when I eventually got evicted and took 15K off the prize money and like this whole twist thing that happened, when I was walking, they picked me up from the house, this minder, after I'd been evicted. It was like, do not read the news for 12 hours. You'll be too overwhelmed. But here's your phone. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to read the news. And I'm reading through all this shit about COVID. And I'm like, fuck me. What is going on here? Tom Hanks has it. The Queen has it. Like all this shit. And then I was like, oh, it'll be fine. Like it won't affect me. And it really hit me when I got to Sydney Airport and I was the only person in the whole domestic terminal. And I was in the whole Sydney domestic terminal Qantas. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is really serious. And when I mean only person, there was one security guard on, like for the security for the plane, and like no one around. And then you walked in the actual terminal, all the coffee shops are closed, and it was just I might have a photo that I can send you guys too, but it was like a big like tunnel where you walk down like the tunnel to the gates and stuff. No one, all dead.
So
then I
rocked
up to the gate, and then I found out that I was the only one that was early because people were rocking up like 2 minutes before the flight because COVID, right? Now, when I say people rocking up to the flight, there were 10 people that rocked up. So, I've never been on a plane that empty before. Now, this is like, to me, this is huge.
Sketchy, man.
To me, this is huge because I've flown over to Sydney on a totally packed plane and everything was fine. Now I'm flying home to the zombie apocalypse and I'm like, what's going on here? That was crazy. And then when it really hit me was our plane was descending on the flight back to Adelaide. And the pilot goes, yeah, sorry. Like, we are, like, you know, in that descent where you can see the airport, you can see the ground. The pilot was like, sorry, guys, we're going to have to kick this bird back up to cruising altitude. There's been a COVID outbreak at Adelaide Airport. And the guy just literally kicked it straight back to Sydney.
No.
I was like,
fuck,
this is really serious. Like, that was when the baggage handlers in Adelaide, there was a huge breakdown. That was in 2020. And that was and then I was like, fuck me, how am I going to get back? And they're like, well, you could drive. And I'm like, I don't fucking drive. You know this. And
you told me not to get my fucking license.
You told me not to get my fucking license. Am I, are you serious? And then she's like, oh, I better get a minder back for you. And then Stephen Marshall, the then Premier, said, everyone, you got 12 hours to get back to Adelaide. We're closing the border and no one's coming back in. So then I've never seen like production people scurry so much. They're just like, fucking, can we get him on a plane? Yeah. And then they managed to get, it was the most, then on the flight back, it was more packed because that news, everyone was trying to get back. Got back and I was like, thank fuck, I'm home. Saw mum and dad for the first time. Couldn't hug them though because I was like, might have COVID from Sydney. They weren't sure. So they have a bedroom and an ensuite and they let me sleep in there. Because I had to quarantine for 2 weeks in the room.
Remember that
but
shit.
It was great. Production.
Oh, so this is pre having to quarantine in a hotel.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, right.
Just before, like it was literally a week and a half before they brought it in, thank God. And it was great because every day I was watching Netflix, I was getting paid from the production company because in our contract, it was when we originally signed it, if there were any inconvenience, we will cover how much you'd been earning per day. And at that time, I was in just like a marketing job and I just based it off what I was earning. So I was like, yeah, I would roughly earn $250 a day. And they're like, cool, we'll pay you $250 a day every day you're in lockdown. So I made like over $2,000 for 2 weeks just sitting in lockdown watching Netflix. It was great. So they paid me for that. And then, yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
As well. So that's like the whole eviction story and getting back. But yeah, it was surreal.
So how many people were left in the house when you got evicted?
5 others.
5 others.
But
right.
so my big thing was I got evicted in a fake eviction in the house and they put me in a room all white. Clothes, food, everything. And I was like, stay in here as long as you can. The twist was another housemate came in and the whole thing was we're offering you to either go back in and finish the game or we're going to put a money counter up on the screen and the first person to click it gets the money. And me being naive, not knowing anything about COVID, I thought $15,000 or be able to get some new equipment, can do a really nice family holiday with my family and that'd be great. Get out, couldn't do the family holiday. I was like, oh, good. And I found out I wouldn't get paid the money until it was after airing anyway. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then, yeah, so there were 5 people left when I left then.
But you walked away with a bit of money.
15.
Yeah,
grand.
okay.
15,555 and then they paid you $1,500 a week you're in there. So, yeah, I walked away with about 25, yeah, all up.
Wow.
Not including the brand deals and stuff after that happened. That was way more, but yeah, after it aired. But yeah, beforehand, just, yeah, easy 25, which was nice for 6 weeks' work, which was really good.
So you leave Big Brother. What happens to you then?
Well, then...
What opportunities did it...
Yeah, huge. So then it was a month where we were told not to, all the housemates were told not to speak to each other because there was a lot of beef because I'd thrown you under the bus to get you evicted and you've now found out that I've fucked your chance over. So everyone pretty much hated each other, but we all had this Instagram group chat that production pretty much said don't do. And all of the housemates came in and then the episode started airing and people started going...
it wasn't live.
No, it wasn't live. So we got to watch ourselves back on TV.
So from the time that you went in...
Yeah. All recorded.
Finished?
Yeah, finished. A month. A month and then it aired.
Oh, that would be hectic.
Yeah. So for a month
See, and that's not like the original Big Brother where it was live.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Like the audience had a say in the outcomes.
Yeah.
All right.
So a month, and then it airs, and they're dropping previews, and you're seeing yourself. But then you get and then when I got out of the house too, I had 50 messages from people on Messenger being like, "Where the fuck have you been?" And I had to just I honestly had to play the mental health card and be like, I had to take some time away from social media because that's the only thing people would believe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't say I was on a job because I'd be like, "Why didn't you need your phone?" You know what I mean? But then
I call the cops, man, like missing person.
Yeah, correct. But then I got to the point where one of my friends, who I actually recognised on day one, because when you did the challenges in the show, you did these big eviction challenges, you actually went on a bus where they blindfolded you and drove you down the street to this separate warehouse. And you walk into this huge warehouse and there's this huge nomination challenge. On the first day, I look up and there's my best friend's mate. And he points at me and I'm like, well, it's definitely going to get out. I'm going to get on now because even those people sign an NDA. He's just going to jump on Snapchat where the messages disappear and tell everyone I know that I'm on. So I had half the messages where so-and-so's told me you're on Big Brother. Is this true? There's been pics leaked of you on Big Brother. Is this true? And we just had to go, nah, it wasn't me. And then when I got released, those same people messaged me again. Was like, I fucking knew
bastard.
it. Yeah. You piece of shit. I knew it was you. So yeah, that was crazy. And then he messaged me. I got evicted, and he was like, because I had him on Snapchat too, because I'm pretty good mates with him, and he messaged me and was like, "Oh, you fucking legend, well done." I wanted it because we had to act as if we didn't know each other too. Because if I had said, "Oh, so and so," like he couldn't get fired, so I was like, I had to act totally like chill that I didn't know him. He's like, oh, thanks so much for acting like you didn't know it. When I saw you on day one, I was expecting you to come over and be like, hey, how are you? But I was like, no. So, yeah, it was fucked. And then it started airing, and people started getting really angry with each other because everything you've said in the diary room gets done. And then I said to Mum when I got out, I said to her, I've said a lot of shit in the diary room, like really bad shit about, because I wanted to be the villain. I wanted the villain edit. So I'd be like, so-and-so's a fuckhead. I'm going to evict them. They're a prick, all that type of stuff in the diary room. And I was like, fuck. So I texted the executive producer, the lady who said to me, don't get my license, the night before it aired. And I said, is this going to really like fuck me over? Am I never going to be able to get a job ever again? Is this going to... She's like, no, we've given you the best edit ever because you gave us the most amazing content. So they didn't edit me like a villain at all, but they edited me as like this strategist, really endearing guy that the audience really liked on the show. So I was like, for that. So they didn't put any of my bad... There's hours of footage of me on the Channel 7 hard drive somewhere just ragging on everyone in there. Hours and hours of stuff. And there's probably hours of footage of me shitting as well because they had cameras in the toilets as well. So...
Fuck.
Yeah.
No privacy.
No privacy at all. Yeah. Let me just check that camera quickly. That was still recording. But, yeah, it was wild. Yeah, it was still recording. That's fine. Yeah, so... Go from your last question. What did you say? No privacy.
No privacy.
Yeah, none. It was cooked.
Wow.
Yeah, really bad.
So what, people could watch you do anything in that house?
So in our contract, it said that the cameras would never be viewed by anyone from production, but
bullshit.
Yeah, like they.
So they had like the because
it was meant to be like if someone's like really upset and they go to the toilet and they're bursting their eyes out crying, then they could be like blah. But it's I Googled it after I left the house too, and it was like, this is a common thing in reality TV, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean? Sorry.
Like with privacy, like they have cameras everywhere, like Big Brother UK, Big Brother US, all that type of stuff. And in the new Netflix, the Squid Game, the challenge recently that came out, which is like Big Brother on steroids based on Squid Game, the TV show. Yeah, it's the same thing. So, yeah.
So, because I went to, when I was a lot younger, I went to Gold Coast.
Yeah.
And that's when they had them in Dreamworld.
Yeah.
Now, they were saying, oh, look, there was cameras in the mirrors and all that sort of stuff. So it was like, wow.
So where was yours?
Mine was in a, I think it was like a $5 million converted shed at Manly. Now, when I say shed, it means the whole interior looks like it's been $14 million, but you look up and there's a huge lighting rig and it's like a Bunnings shed at the top. That was the whole house.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was probably the size of... The entire house probably was the entire size of this building, but it was like open plan. So they had like a huge hallway, lounge, tiny-ish backyard, pool, bedroom, and then the diary room. That was it. Because it was their first season in my opinion, reboot. They had limited budget because the next season you watch and it's like fucking double the budget and stuff because how well ours rated as well. So, yeah, Manly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, all done in like a warehouse, yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much, yeah. And then they don't do it there anymore. They moved it to, it's like, I get the wrong...
Is Big Brother still on?
Last year, yeah. So they filmed it last year and it was just a shit show.
What sort of ratings were they getting?
They did it off, like 80,000 people tuned in, which is dog shit. Like
80,000?
Yeah, I think. Don't quote me on that. I've checked the ratings. But yeah, and it got to the point where they were airing double episodes a night just to get it off TV. Because in my opinion, I don't know for sure, when these networks sign these deals, they have to get it on the air and get it off if they don't like it, you know what I mean? They can't just not air it. They have to air it. Otherwise, they'd lose money. They probably lost money anyway, but they would still have made something, if you know what I mean. So
that's where I was saying before, they cut, I think they cut it or they stopped it really early?
Yeah, double episode, stopped it. So they did it so mine aired across 9 weeks. And then theirs was 3.5. Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. Yeah, and all of us, but like guys that were in the house for even like seasons 1 and 2 of we call it seasons 1 and 2, but like of the reboot, 20 and 21, that was really good TV because 21 had people like Danny Hayes, who had seen me play, who had seen like Alan play and the other strategists in the house, and he went like supersonic with it, and like he went like crazy and was like evicting people out of the blue and all this type of stuff, and that rated really well because of him. But then they thought by doing a 2022 one. No, they did one in 2022 where they brought back Tim Dormer and Reggie and all them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the Future one, and that rated okay, but they should have changed it there to a live version, which I think is their intention this year, maybe to bring it back totally rebranded. and live, because their last contractually obligated one, I think, was the 23 one. The one that's just aired. Because I don't know for sure, but I think with these networks, they sign like a 4-season deal that they have to fulfill with the original rights holders. And the season 4 was the one they just did last year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's up in the air now. News.com.au reported, I think, 3 weeks ago they've canned it. But from what I'm hearing from people I know, I think they're rebranding and bringing it back live probably September, October. I think they'll do it. Because they need to give it a break after the shitstorm that's just happened with this last thing. And Channel 7 has really good shows. They've got like SAS. They've got like other really good ones that can bring in really high ratings for them for quarter 1. And then quarter 2 is where they'll need to pick up. But yeah, in my opinion, none of this is fact. Just so I don't get sued.
Do you know, talking about like shows from the olden days that have been rebooted, I'm absolutely loving the new Gladiators. I don't know if you've been getting into
that's not
it.
rating very well though.
Isn't it?
No, I think they've canned it. Well, they're gonna can it.
Well, it finishes this week.
Yeah,
it's only been like a week that it's been on.
Yes, I reckon they've canned it.
Yeah,
it's meant to be a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was an episode tonight, and I was watching it just before I came here.
Yeah.
I just love it. I don't know.
It's good,
it gives me a lot of those old school,
Of course,
vibes, and it's just
But people aren't watching TV anymore, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know
Not
about you
really.
guys, but
I'm
I go
on
home at night and I
Netflix.
chuck on Netflix, or I rewatch How I Met Your Mother on Disney Plus, or like it'll be very rare that I would sit down and watch TV. Now, my parents who are in their 60s watch the news, and then they go move to streaming. That's the only thing they watch. Yeah.
Same.
So
News, and then straight to Netflix or Stan
or sport, like the tennis
sport.
is on at the moment,
Yeah,
which
tennis
is huge.
is on.
That's huge for them. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it, really.
Yeah.
I'm not really.
Well, you look at the last few years, the biggest rating things on TV have been sport related.
100%.
Like last year with the Women's World Cup.
Oh, that was insane.
And the
I'm not a soccer
Matildas
person.
were getting like, 7-8 million a night.
See, all my you're gonna love this. All my mates gave me shit for this because I bet against the Matildas and won big. So I put for their game against England, I got the correct score, and England to score in both halves, won $3,000 on that. And then with Sweden, it was to score in both halves, and I won $6,000 on that.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Not bad.
everyone was like, "That's so un-Australian," but I'm like, "I need to make money. Let's go."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
when
I was supporting them, but I'm like, well, I don't know
if you're going to put money on betting,
Correct.
you're going to go with your brain.
Correct. Yeah.
Doesn't
So-
matter what your allegiances are.
Correct. Because
so-
all my mates, we were watching the England, the Australia game. My mate next to me is the biggest Matildas fan. Every time England score, he'd be like, "Hey," he's like, "Can you shut the fuck up?" yeah.
So, yeah, back to what I was saying before. So, after Big Brother.
Sorry, I've diverted
No,
entirely.
you're
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
mate. So, what sort of, like, how did everything work out for you?
Yeah, then an
Opportunities?
agency approached me and said, "Do you want to?" So the big thing was Cameo. That was huge for me. I had a lady when it was airing hit me up and go, "I'm from Cameo. Have you heard of Cameo?" "Yep, heard of Cameo." And it was like I got evicted, and I did it really well. A few other people waited a couple of weeks, which meant it went down like the toilet.
You're not
bowl.
relevant.
Day
Yeah.
I got evicted, I was like, "Yep, I've got a Cameo," and I did 400 cameos in a day at $29 each, and I was like, "I'm rich." Yeah. So that was crazy for me.
Wow.
And then that kept going for months on. I think I've done 1,700 cameos now since there, and it's died down now. Obviously, fucking 4 years on. But then it was like I was getting like 50 a week, which was really good. So that was my job for a long time. And I've worked with brands like Tinder before. Did a brand deal with them. Did Pepsi, a few other. Then they paid really well as well.
What were you doing with Tinder?
Tinder, so they had a swipe night show or something on their thing, and I just had to promote it. Like they were doing this game where people like swiped on this thing and clicked something. I can't remember. It was called Swipe Night or something. I had to do 3 Insta story posts and got paid pretty well for it. So I was like,
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
yeah. Well, didn't even have to do an IG grid post, which was great. So yeah.
Did you get any hookups or?
No, I didn't. I didn't. No, I
Bummer.
didn't. I know. Well, the thing was, I couldn't even go out during it airing because I thought, I might be able to get like some chicks here. I go out, but it couldn't go out during it airing because of like the restrictions with COVID.
Oh,
So I was
fucking
like,
COVID.
couldn't get
Of
anything. I was
course.
like, what's going on? So, yeah, but then after that, pretty much I said to myself, well, what the fuck am I going to do now? Because Big Brother's going to die in like 7 months after probably I got evicted. It all ended probably end of July, and I said to myself, I've probably got a year's lifeline on leveraging Big Brother for what I want to do. And I pretty much used Big Brother and the views I'd already accumulated, because when I left Big Brother, they wouldn't let me post anything about the show or anything for when I was on. So I thought I could leverage that.
For how long? Like
7 months. So from when I signed my contract to the end of the show, pretty much, filming everything. So I couldn't post to any social media. And I was only on 100K at the time. So then I said to myself, I'm going to take 3 months to leverage it, build it. Got it to 280 in that time. So I'm going to myself another 180,000 followers on TikTok. And then my good mate Will, shout out Will, he'll probably see this. He was working at a local marketing company in Adelaide, and I said to him, look, I want to get into marketing. This is what I want to do. I feel like I'm good at it. I feel like I can bring a lot to businesses and influencers and small businesses as well. And he said, there's no openings right now, but here's my boss's number, and if you can convince him, you might be able to get an interview. So I rang up this guy randomly. He was like, who the fuck are you? And I was like, my best mate Will's working for you. He's your content creator. Give me 15 minutes to sit down with you, and I'll tell you why you should give me a job. He's like, meet me at West Lakes for a coffee. And I'm like, fuck, all right. Went down and I said, came with a whole plan. He said, I don't want to look at the document. Tell me straight to my face. So I walked him through it, 15 minutes. And he goes, you got a job. Start on Monday. So that was my first marketing job.
Fucking awesome.
And I just walked my way into that and just didn't even really need to apply through the official channels. Just ran with it. And then was in that, then just have been in marketing ever since, just going from opportunity to opportunity that I feel I can really help the business and I do my own clients on the side as well. So I do like my own, help out the influencers to grow their brands, brand deals, all that type of stuff as well.
Awesome.
Because that's and that's something for me, like I got to a point where I was kind of really sick of making content. And I've really gotten back into it recently for myself, I'm saying, because I loved helping these small businesses and influencers that had like 10, 20 followers to in like 9 months get them to 100K, and they were like, what the fuck? That was a big thing for me that I love to do, because it was like,
you get a kick out of it.
Yeah, get a huge kick out of it. And like it gives me the incentive too, because I'm like so behind the content as well. And I so believe in my own ability to be able to like come in and revolutionize like an account. And I've done it like, it's kind of this weird formula I have, and people are going to say that's not possible, but it's a weird formula I have. I see a client or a brand, and I can visualize what I'm going to do. I've been described by people before that I'm a very visual learner. So when we're filming this right now, I already know, I've already thought of like 5 clips in my head of how they're going to be edited, and it'll come out exactly like that. That's how my brain works.
I'm telling you, last week when we did a bit of recording for Rags's TikTok, Kieran was just basically saying, all right, this is what I've got. This is the idea.
You did it all on yourself. What are you talking about?
No. But look, listen, what I'm saying is, like, I'm just going by what he's saying. Like, this is the idea that I have and what we should do and all that. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So, like, I took his idea, but I made it.
Easy to work with people.
I made it my own.
Yeah. That's like
and then you just hear him behind the camera pissing himself laughing.
Me and George, through his takes, we were like pissing it. I'm like, George, I can pick up on the audio. He's like, I can't help it. It's too fucking funny. And then he did this thing in the neighbours thing by accident. I don't know if it was by accident, but he did the hose and he flicked the hose. And I had to put the camera down. And I said, that is fucking hilarious. Do that again. He's like, oh, was that good? And then he really, and I was like, and the good thing is too, is I'm filming it and I'm pissing it, but in my head, I already know how I'm going to edit that with like the memes, the sound effects and stuff. And I remember messaging you when I was editing it. I'm like, I am fucking crying with laughter with this. So,
yeah, and then the Greek dad one.
Oh, that was. He
goes to me, right? You've got a minute where you just have to like just go nuts, go nuts at George.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, fuck, a minute? That's a long time, man.
Yeah, I got.
That's a long time.
I got 30 seconds in, and I was like, fuck, man.
Oh no, hang on. You said 30 seconds to me originally. Yeah. And then he goes, just go 30 seconds hard, abusing George. Just be that angry dad.
Yeah.
And then we stopped recording that part, and he goes, man, that was just over a minute and a half. A minute and a half.
It was brilliant. It was great, though.
I was just sitting there abusing him in Greek.
And I'm behind the camera not understanding a word, but I'm like, this is going to be so fucking good.
And I had to, my face was straight that whole time.
I had to show
the anger, but I had him on the side with the camera.
Yeah.
I couldn't see what he was doing, but I had George in front of me. He was crying. He was in tears. And I wanted to burst out laughing, but I had to keep my face straight because I didn't want him going, right, we got to do that again.
Yeah, no, it was perfect. It was chef's kiss. It was so good.
Beautiful.
And I've seen
You're
a lot
really
of the
good
work
on camera though, because like I've worked with people before where it's like pulling fucking teeth. I've had some clients before, I won't name names, but where you go out, you speak to them in person like we are now, and they seem really enthusiastic, and then they get in front of the camera and they're like, where the fuck am I? And I'm like, oh shit. So you were really good because like I knew George was too, and then he was explaining like what you do details, like, oh, you'll be great. And then when 2 minutes in, I was like, this is fucking perfect because it's good to give someone an idea like we were on the shoot day, and then you make it your own. That's what I really love about that type of stuff.
Yeah, perfect.
Because if I'm there guiding, it's going to seem fake and inauthentic. I don't know if that's the correct word. Unauthentic. I don't know. But yeah, it's going to seem not like genuine is what I'm trying to say to the video we're wanting to create. And you were
what I was saying to George last week, and the consumer, they can fucking pick that up.
Oh, big time.
They know
100%.
if you're full of shit or not.
100%. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, like even today's the video that he posted today, the Greek dad one. Oh. So many people have been messaging me going, "Oh my god, you're just like my dad."
Yeah, it's great.
And I'm like, that's because my dad.
We'll do the soccer one too. That's
like I'm literally imitating my own, dad, and rest in peace, Dad. But that's you all over.
I love it.
All right. I want to get to the nitty gritty part of our podcast. Yeah. Obviously, I gave you an explanation on what our podcast does and what we like to focus on.
Yeah.
And we had George last week, so I asked him about the pressures of social media on mental health and his overall well-being.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think on a next level, being in that Big Brother house, mental health would have played a massive role in that place. You've just explained to a bit, afterwards the stress that would have gone through your head about the shit that I said in there. Is that going to get me into trouble? Is it going to fuck up my future?
Yeah.
You're going to cop it. Your family's going to cop
100%.
it. Like,
that was like a big thing for me. Like I've gone in there and had a fun time and said all this shit, and now it's going to like reflect badly on like my family's like both my parents are like school teachers too. So I was like, I don't want to fuck their whole careers up and everything. And then when the EP said it to me, I was like, oh my God too. So
and then like now with being, pretty huge on social media and across different platforms, how does that all come into like, I mean, you're a pretty bubbly guy, but are there the moments where you go, fuck, like this is taking its toll, I need to step back?
Yeah. So for me, one big thing in the last year that I've noticed myself is that I'm a warrior. And it's something that's really come up probably since March last year, where I noticed myself worrying about things that other people wouldn't. And it's the small things. Like, it's like, if I send you a text and I don't hear from you in 10 minutes, I'll be like, is he pissed at me? Like, have I done something? Like, why hasn't he gotten back? That's my thinking. And that's something I've
noticed a bit of that with our chats.
That's my thing, yeah. And like in the last
I'm like, dude, I work by during the
day. In the last year, I've really had to like step back and just evaluate that and like bring in like some techniques. And one thing, it got really bad in August last year where it wasn't so much that I couldn't like enjoy day to day, but it was like, it was crippling. It was exhausting, really. It was getting to a point where I was just worrying so much. So then that's where I said to myself, I got to figure this out. And it was a really balmy night in August. And I said to myself, I'm just going to go for a walk. And this is where all the running came in. I went on my first run and that like calmed me down for the rest of the night. And I was like, fuck, this is like real. This is what I need in my life. This is what I need to balance me out. Like whenever I'm worried or I've got anxiety, I'm just going to go on a run or I'm going to get outside or do something. And that's really helped me. And that's really, it's become addictive really, to be honest with you, because it's become, whenever I would worry, I would just go, time out, I got to go on a run. And I would do it and usually be a 5 to 7K. And of course, when it started off, it would be like a 1 or a 2. Then I build it up. But like August last year, I ran 50 kilometers because I was like just so worried all the time.
Jeez,
yeah, so I was just like going like every night. And then it's really under wraps now where if I do feel extremely worried, I know like I need to get out of the house and just go on a run. And there was a scenario that happened probably 2 weeks ago where I was just like really worried out of my head and I was just like went on a run and I used the Nike Run Club app where I do like guided runs with the coach and they talk in your ear and stuff. And I was so into it. I was just like went on a run, thought I'd do 5K, ended up doing a 14K and back. And I was like,
wow,
fuck me. All right. I needed that. So yeah, then I've just been, ever since then I've said to myself if I'm going to do, and it was kind of like, for me, like I'm the type of person, I'm young and with the Australian culture, I think it's so strong as well. You see your mates when you go out and you drink and you go to town and you hang out with them and you party. That was like a big back-to-back weekend thing with me. And I was like, that's okay to do that, but not every weekend. And I need something like a hobby that's just for me, where I can go out, do it, feel good about myself. And it's not like going to the pub, having a beer, going out for dinner, you know what I mean? Doing something for me. And that's when I realized probably on my 5th run where I was like, oh, I'm getting better at this. I was like, can be the thing that I want to do. And then I ran my first 12-kilometer run in September. Didn't think I'd finish it and powered through. Absolutely sent it. And then I said to myself, well, I'm going to make this a thing now. And then I planned to do a half marathon on the 8th of December. That got canned weather. But then Saturday I did a full half marathon, 21.1. Did it in my time that I wanted to. Was really good. Happy with it.
That's good.
And then the plan is maybe April or a bit after do the full marathon. So it's been really good. And now my anxiety's like gone as well because like that's really just helped me move through it. And I think the big thing for me is that I had to let go of worrying about other people. I was big like, why aren't they responding to me? Like, are they pissed off with me? Like, that was like my internal thinking. But they could be out of coffee. They could be, I had to bring in those logical thoughts. So they could be out of coffee. They could be at work. They could be doing their own thing. You know what I mean? And I brought that in more and more and more. But a big thing for me in 23 was getting over the fact of, I'm only going to give to you what I receive back. Because I was a big person that would go all out for someone and go big for
dog shit,
or they would give you something and then 5 months later turn around and go, fuck you, you've given me nothing. And I'll be sitting there like, what the fuck's going on here? I've helped you with this for the last fucking year and a half and it's gone to shit. So, and that's why I keep, like, George, he's one of my best mates, like, most loyal guy ever. And, like, he's the type of person I could bring at 3 a.m. in the morning if I was on the side of the road and he'd come pick me up. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the type of friends I want in my life that give that energy back. So that's been a big thing for me across the last year that I've had to work through myself and really grow and develop that further. And I really think I'm really happy with where I'm at the moment. Still got a bit of progress to do with it, but I think as I move through this year, my plan is to make this year my best year for like mental health, just being active more and just enjoying life more. Because when you worry a lot as well, you don't enjoy as much. That's one thing I found as well. So
100%.
Have you ever been affected by keyboard warriors?
No, so at the beginning, yes. And that started out when it wasn't the keyboard warriors were really so much keyboard warriors. They were the people in the schoolyard. They were the people that were pulling up my YouTube videos in the classroom in front of everyone, taking the piss out of me. So I've dealt with that from a very young age. So because I dealt with that from, say, a year 9 or a year 10, year 9 or year 10, when I got to the point where I was going all in on social media, people would comment and be like, you're a fucking retard, and I just delete it. Like, that was, I think it's gotten to the point, and then especially by the time I got on Big Brother, where there's this huge scale, I dealt with all that shit from the driving videos, because by that time I'd done 100 million views with the driving videos and had every under the sun comment with, you're a fucking retard, you're going to kill people, fuck you, all that type of stuff. I dealt with all that. And that didn't even really worry me so much then. It was getting through that first hump in high school into maybe early uni where I cared so much about what other people thought I was posting. It got to the point where a switch kind of flipped in my head where it was like, if I'm really going to go all the way with this and I'm going to really send it, I just got to not give a fuck. You know what I mean?
So it's good, like, in a way that this all happened to you when you were in school and it made you more resilient.
100%.
It could go either way. You could
100%.
either... like for me, when I was in, it would have been like junior primary. I went to a Para Hills primary, and there was like absolutely no Greeks or Italians there at that time. Yeah, and I copped it,
of
like
course,
you know. And then went to St. George, and then obviously there's a bigger
nothing but Greeks,
right? So that was all right. And then, you know, Norwood High, and it was good, you know. So it could go either way for people. It could either, you know, you go through that in school, like bullies and this and that, and then it could fuck you up. Yeah, and for the rest of your life, you're going to be like, I'm the victim. Right? Or it could go like, say, your way, or how I dealt with it too. Yeah. You could just make you resilient for the rest of your life.
100%.
And look, you're obviously going to get those little things here and there that are going to... Oh, why the fuck did you say that?
We're all human, and there's always going to be that one thing that triggers us off.
Always that dickhead.
You know, either a dickhead or some event that's just going to trigger off our anxiety or
100%.
you know, a bit of a depression mode. But you know, it's the way that you pick yourself up on how
dust yourself
good
off,
you are
mate.
at coping with it. Yeah.
And the big thing for me with the running is, a year ago, if you said to me that I would have done a 12-kilometre an hour half marathon, I would have laughed in your face. Because every time someone said to me, you want to come on a walk, you want to go on a run, or you want to do something, I was like, no, fuck yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm going to watch Netflix and get a kebab or some shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. And one thing too is, like, it really has made me appreciate the human mind and body and what you can overcome. Because I remember doing my first 10K, I hit 8K, and I felt like death. I felt like giving up, and then your body just picks it back up. Yeah. And it's like runner's high. And that was the first time I experienced that. And that's addictive in itself too. But yeah, that's made me appreciate a lot of things, and really, a lot of people have like their coping I would call it a coping mechanism for me that I've used, but it's a really good one that I can just keep pounding away at and keep doing. So, yeah.
And he's also a star striker for the D team at Comets, at the Titans.
At the Titans.
You're what, sorry?
Soccer. So I've never played soccer since year 7.
Yeah.
And George plays there, and Zach Levy, who I'm good mates with, who was actually at that. He was my boss at that first marketing job that I spoke about. I said to him the year before, I said I'm going to be captain of the Ds and I'm going to get MVP. And then a year ago when I was with you at the awards night, he got a snap of me the year before saying, if I'm not, I get slapped in the face. So he slapped me in the face on video. And I said, that's not going to happen next year. I'm going to try and get MVP in the Ds or be in the Ds or close to. So, yeah, went out for tryouts of the night and nearly died. Like death. Like the C's coach, Chris, the C's coach, I think it was, he was looking at me like, how the fuck are you going to do an entire season? But I was like, nah, it's good. But they were really, and one thing I really love about the Titans, shout out Titans, was that they're really a great community of people. That's one thing. Like, I wouldn't call myself an outsider because I've gone to like their social events and I know like Levy and George and stuff. But I know some of the guys at the club, but they're not judgmental at all, and they're really like welcoming and open. That's one thing I love about them. So I'm really excited for it. It'll be great fun.
Yeah, and that's what a good club is like. That 100%. We both had a coaches meeting just before here at the Adelaide Comets because we both coach at the Comets.
Oh, nice.
And just that whole group of the coaches there, I had a couple of coaches at the end of the meeting going, hey, you're stepping up to a different field size this year. Why don't you come out to a couple of my sessions we can work together? Yeah. And I'm like,
it's good.
Where do you get this type of support? So it's good to have that community.
Great. Yeah,
but I've known the Titans since when they first started. I was involved when they first started, and
when I thought I met him for the first time the other day.
But
he's like, no, mate, you dragged me onto the dance floor at the Titans awards night.
Mate, I'm telling you.
I do not remember it. I remember bits of it.
20-year anniversary, right? Got invited by Petros to sit there and enjoy the night. And the DJ starts dancing.
No one's on the dance floor.
Yeah, no one's on the dance floor. So he's on the dance floor, like completely going bonkers on the dance floor.
Absolutely.
And then I get up. I was sitting right at the front, right? So I'm getting up from my table, and all of a sudden, I'm looking that way. My hand's getting dragged that way. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And then this bloke is pulling me to the dance floor, and he's like doing all these funky moves like this, right? Beer in one hand, dragging me on the other.
The twirl.
And then he's trying to do the twirl to me. I'm like,
wow.
Who the fuck are you?
And you know that moment when you see someone the other day, I was like, oh, how are you? And I was going to have a shake, they all came back to me. I was like, oh my God, we haven't met before. Not remember leaving that.
But do you know what's hilarious? The funniest part is, so I'm walking off, and Lebrop's nephew, Vasily. Kodas.
Yeah.
I went up to him and I go, dude, who the fuck is that gay tart over there, man? Like, who is that bloke? He goes, do you not know him? I'm like, no, I don't know him. Who is he? He goes, he's Australia's worst driver. I'm like, what do you mean Australia? What the hell are you talking to me about, Vasily? He goes,
yeah, that's me.
That's Kieran.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, and I'm meant to know Kieran how? And he goes, wait, give me your phone. Do you have TikTok? I'm like, yeah, I do. So he types in, and I'm like, watching the video, and go, oh, shit. Right. And I'm like 330. Fuck.
Yeah.
So how'd you go driving here? All good?
No, Mum and Dad dropped me off.
You still don't have
still
a
doesn't
license?
drive.
8 years, submitted redid my L's in October for the 8th time. And it's not even stalling anymore, it's just a spatial awareness. So I'll be driving, it is a stalling, but I'll be driving along like a road and I'll think like a bin is way over there, but I'll be like that close to it. And Mum freaks out. She's like, I can't do it anymore. So yeah, I'm going to have to get a driving instructor or something, but
yeah.
And like if you watch his videos,
I crashed into a garage and the insurance guy, because it's how we got house insurance to fix it, and the guy rocks up and he goes, fuck me, it's real. Me and the boys down at the office had a bet that wasn't real. I'm going to win $50 because I said it was real. And there's this huge hole inside of our house.
Are you still recording these?
So I recorded one recently because I might have an opportunity for a new thing with them, which I can't talk about. But so I recorded a couple of new ones and they went really well. But I'm mainly just reposting all old ones. Like I've done on TikTok, well, in the month of August, I did 28 mil views on TikTok just with old content.
Wow.
And then Facebook this month, I've done 14 million all on old videos, which are like 6 years old. So I just download them, re-edit them so they look new, and then my audience just eat them up. So yeah, and 7 billion people, no, 8 billion people in the world, like less than 1% of people will have seen them in my head. So I'm like, just keep getting them out, keep going. So that's my plan.
It's all right. 10 million people will be watching this podcast episode.
Correct.
Yes, they will.
Correct.
That's a shout out to everyone watching.
Shout out indeed.
Click to subscribe.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow, wow, Kieran, wow, what a, and you're so young. You still got so much more ahead of you.
I know, it's crazy. 26 this year. I feel pretty old.
You're 25 years old.
25 right now. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I look 40. Yeah. 25, 20, and 26 in September. Yeah.
Mate, I just turned 40 and I feel 40. No, I feel 50. So I went like
Hang on. How quick was 25 to 40 for you? Did it go like that or?
So 25 to about 30 was quite slow.
Okay,
like it was slow. It was once I hit 30, I got married. And my wife started having kids.
Yeah.
That 10-year period completely blown out the water. I don't even remember the last 10 years.
Yeah,
like I literally, November, I just turned 40. I do not remember the 10 years that have just gone past.
Yeah, so
that's a worry.
And even like the other day, like because I'm like I've got like a how do you say it, like getting old complex.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, oh man, like
my dad.
I'm 32
I'm
years
grey
old.
as well, yeah.
I'm 32 years old, man.
Yeah.
Like people be like, oh fucking shut up, stupid. You're fine, right? But the other day, like I got like a little, those big W blow up pools.
Oh
They're
yeah,
like $20, $30.
Yeah.
Anyway, so every year we'll buy a new one because our dog will scratch one and that's it for the year, and he'll burst it. Anyway, so I'm in the pool with my son. We're doing a little bit of wrestling, and he goes, "Oh, not bad, old man." Right? He's 6, right?
Oh, no.
I look at my wife, and I go, "Is this kid fucking serious?" And she's like, "Honey, don't say that to your dad. He has an age complex." I was like, fuck.
But when I was, so the years between 25 and 30, I think mentally I was trying to prolong them as much as I could because I was afraid of turning 30.
Wow, okay.
I felt like I had not accomplished anything in life.
Wow.
And I was afraid. I was getting very anxious. I was really depressed about turning 30. Turning 40, complete opposite. It's like, oh, fuck, I'm turning 40 tomorrow. Like, hey, bring it on, big boy. It's like, it's just a number.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's probably why I felt like that 5-year period went really slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, once I got married, had kids, bang.
Yeah.
No, see you later. So
21 to 23 went real fast. And then 23 to 25 has gone medium. I'm hoping 25 to 30 goes slow as hell because I'm like, do not want to be 30.
So when I was
See,
18,
yeah.
See, it's the same thing.
same.
Yeah.
when I was like 18, 19, turned 20, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, see, I wasn't,
Shit. And then went from 29 to 30, I'm like, oh my God, my life is over.
Yeah, 25, I was like, but my big thing is I do a big, like I'm a big party, as you can probably tell, I'm a big party person. No. So every year, I've done a birthday party for myself every year since I was 17.
Nice.
With like mates and stuff. But this year was pretty chill. We just went to the Exeter and I booked out the balcony and we just had beers and stuff and got pretty rowdy. But yeah, it's always good. Good fun. Love it.
Nah, good, man. That's
really
all right.
I reckon what we should do with Kieran here, we should go into a bit of bloke's bits.
Yep.
Because I got some funny things I want to chat about.
Yep.
And I reckon this would absolutely go nuts. Yeah?
Yep.
What do you reckon?
This
is
Bloke's Bit.
excellent. Bloke's bits. All right. So
how does this work? Tell me.
It's
Well,
not what it
basically-
sounds like.
I was like, what's going on here?
so you have to get up and show your bits.
Bye.
No, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? There was a comment made on one of Rags's posts during the week when he was pushing out our podcast episode. He posted it, and someone commented on going, 2 blokes in a pod, geez, that isn't gay.
Oh, God.
Right, and I knew this bloke too, and I commented back going, if you don't like the name of it, that's fine, man. Like, it's
fuck
doing
off,
well
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
And then Rags got straight on the phone, oh, I'm so sorry, man. That was my god brother. I'm like, dude, it's okay.
Who gives a fuck? Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like, I'm
I
not.
love that about George. Though. He always comes in and he's the best.
It's
I
like,
love him,
he made sure that I'm okay,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
like, dude, I'm fine.
Yeah, he's the best.
So I was doing some surfing during the week, and I thought, I've got to find some really good stuff to chat about because a lot of people are like, oh, we're really enjoying your podcast, but, what about some little bit more men stuff? And, I'm like, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So I've been looking around and I found this article, which I completely pissed myself laughing with, right?
Yeah.
The title of the article is, so this is a how to do posts. So they're sort of writing into someone for advice.
Okay. Yep.
So the article is, I want to sleep with other people. I just can't have my husband doing the same. Right? So, dear...
Talk about a complex.
Yeah,
so this is called Dear How to Do It. So the blog is called How to Do It.
Yeah.
Right? Dear How to Do It. I'm bisexual and I'm happily married to a man. That said, I do feel occasional desire to sleep with another woman. I haven't yet, but I'm contemplating asking my husband to open up the marriage. My idea is that I would be allowed to sleep with other women. I think it might need work because the biological underpinnings of male jealousy wouldn't be there in this situation when I'm not sleeping with another man. But I'm torn because he is completely straight and I wouldn't really feel comfortable opening it up for another woman too. I guess I'm jealous. Do you think this arrangement could work? I'm scared to bring it up lest it ruin our relationship.
It sounds like this chick wants the cake and she wants to eat it
You
too.
beat me straight to it. I was just about to say it. Yeah.
Yeah. So she wants to be pleasured by a woman.
But another woman can't pleasure.
But her man cannot be pleasured by another woman.
2 words. Fuck off. No.
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally, yeah.
Well, what? But was she
How
saying?
would you react to that, though? If you were asked that question, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be like...
So if my
be like,
wife came to me and said
yeah.
that, I'm like, I don't really know how to answer that.
Yeah.
It's
I'd be livid. I would
Oh,
be,
yeah,
I'd be
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
angry, but
Yeah.
I reckon I don't know what I'd say.
yeah.
Can I watch?
As long as you start an OnlyFans, yeah. So we can get some money off it, yeah. Oh my
But
God.
like, so the whole gist of it is, if he was to say, "Oh, that's okay. I've been having thoughts of doing it with another man," would she be okay with that?
No, she wouldn't be, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether it's woman or man. She just doesn't want her man to be pleasured by another person, but she wants to have that pleasure from another person.
2 words. Fucking run and don't look back. That's more than 2.
That's
I was
more
going
than
to say
two.
more than 2.
Fucking run. Pause.
So did it say whether or not this bloke said yes or no? Like, was there a response?
No. So that was pretty
they
much it.
respond,
So
though?
yeah. So there was a response.
Okay, here we go. This
Dying
one.
to hear this.
Okay. Dear Curious, an arrangement like that which you described could work, but it really depends on the parties involved. Some partners may agree to your terms, putting your desires before theirs, if in fact they want to have sex outside their relationship. Others may even be into the idea and be turned on by you exploring.
So they're a cuck, is what you're saying. They're a cuck.
Yeah, well, yeah.
what it's
I love the cuckold.
Signing up for the swingers club, I think. Jeez.
Plenty of people might also think no fair and shut down the idea on sight. You may need to negotiate. How, for example, How, for example, would you feel about having sex with a woman with your husband? There are couples with only play together clauses in their agreement. Sometimes this is getting full on.
This
man.
answer sounds like it's
Sometimes
been written by ChatGPT as well.
Sometimes being able to see one's partner in action is all it takes to assuage one's anxieties about hooking up. Now, see, personally, if I was to watch... Look,
Be careful what you fucking say here, mate.
I'm hearing Doghouse here. I'm hearing Doghouse.
But like a woman to me would be like, oh, hey, what's going on here, right?
Yeah.
But I'd have anxiety if I was to let my woman sleep with another bloke. Like, fuck, he might have a bigger dick than me or something, you know? Like, you know, he might be able to rock the boat differently.
Oh, jeez.
If you're in a marriage, it's a husband and wife or girl and girl, boy and boy, whatever. Whatever your chemistry is at home, like that's it. It's two people.
Once you commit to it,
you're committed to one person. If you have that desire, woman or man, to branch out and try something different, right? then what was the point of getting in a relationship in the first time? Yeah,
100%.
Correct.
hang on. I know that there are open relationships where they're allowed to do whatever and all that, but this is not open.
Yeah.
This is more
One-sided.
like
Correct.
I get to be pleased by however I want,
Yeah.
but you're not allowed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's selfish.
Yeah. It's stupid as well.
It's fucked, actually.
The whole question is fucked. And if I was reading that article, I would have gotten to the end of her answer and heard to be saying loud at night, fuck this, and leaving the article. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, honestly, hilarious. But then I further looking onto that website that I was
But
on,
wait, there's more.
He dove in deeper, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
So this is a hot topic here. 10 things a guy will do that show he's a boyfriend material.
Okay. This will be
All right.
interesting. Yep.
Okay. So here we go.
Out. Hold on 1 sec.
Number 1. He tells you how beautiful you are all the time.
All the time? I think you got to be honest with your partner, though. Like, if your partner goes, hey, how do I look? Like,
If they look like shit and you say they look good, you're doing them a
disservice.
disservice.
Because if they go out there and they look back at the photos, they'll then get angry at you for saying, oh, you told me I look good, but I look shit in those photos. But then the problem is if you say you look shit, you're fucked either way. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're fucked either way.
That's happened to me before. Like, my wife would say, oh, what do you think of this dress? I'm like, I think it looks like shit. And then she'll get pissed off and then she'll call her mum. And she'll go, oh, mum, what do you think of this? Oh, it looks fine. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't ask me then.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever say that.
You just never say
No,
you
no,
look
no. I
shit.
didn't say no. I didn't say she
I would-
looked
I
like
would
shit.
see,
I
like-
say the dress is shit.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
no. But even like, I'd say, oh yeah, probably not
The best option or...
not something that I'd go for. I mean, not that I wear her
I was going to
dresses.
say, do you wear dresses?
Not that
You
I
then roll out in your own dress and you're like, this is what I'd
Hey,
go for.
I'm Greek. We used to wear skirts in Greek dancing, okay?
Excellent.
We had more layers than a bride's dress.
Shit.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't be point blank, oh, fuck, that looks shit.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I compliment my wife every now and then. Yeah, sure, there's been times where she's done her hair and makeup and I haven't noticed, but
That's just a male
That's
thing.
marriage,
that's
though.
marriage and blokes,
yeah,
isn't
oh
it?
my God,
Yeah.
totally, yeah.
All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, he never leaves a doubt in your mind that you are the girl for him.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yep,
that's
okay.
stock standard, yeah.
All right, no argument there.
No?
A good boyfriend lets his girl have her space.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
100% down
Gotta
with
have you
that.
can't be going out on girls' night with her and all that crap. No.
I always encourage my wife to,
gotta.
call a friend, go
Yeah,
out,
man,
have
yeah.
the night
A few
out.
weeks ago, Katrina went out. She got home at like 2-3 in the morning, and all I did was she doesn't go out all the time like that. Right?
Roja, let's go.
Anyway, so she went out. It was all like my cousins and
Yeah.
my mutual friends and stuff. And I just text her at like 1:30 in the morning. You all good?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, all good. We should be home soon. And I just fell asleep watching the Arsenal game. So
Yeah.
I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
My wife has this thing of when she goes out, she's normally home by about 10:30.
Yeah.
And like, I just message her, guys. She's like messages me going, "Hey, I'm on the way home." I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, stay out." And like,
I'm watching a game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle
no,
of something.
or I'm watching Netflix or something. I'm just enjoying the time on my
Yeah.
own. No
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
nothing. I'm just stay out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then just like the questions, why?
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm really enjoying this movie.
Stav, did you hear that?
Big red flag for me
You hear
is
that?
when a friend and their girlfriend always have to be together and they always have to come to everything together.
That's crazy.
Like if you're doing like a boys' dinner and the girlfriend's they like you think like your mate's coming to a boys' dinner and then the girlfriend rocks up,
Yeah.
no notice,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
Well-
this was made in the lads group chat. Did not know you were a member. Like
one of my very close friends, and we are still very close today, but thank God his ex-girlfriend is no longer with him. When he was with that girlfriend, honestly, same thing.
Oh.
She was glued to him.
It's the worst.
The guy couldn't take a shit without her being right next to him.
the
like,
worst. It's the
fucking
worst.
hell, is
It's
she
shit.
wiping your ass? Like,
Yeah.
what? we'd go out, she'd be there. We'd go to the cinema, she'd be there. We'd go to my mate's house
She's
to
like a
watch
jump
soccer.
scare that was wrong.
Right there. He'd go to the gym, she'd be right there. Like, fuck me.
That shows, right, there's no trust in that relationship.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
100%.
So,
Although he's encouraging her to go and do stuff with her friends. No.
And you do notice that a lot where like one guy fucks up or a girl fucks up like, by cheating and then they get back together. You notice then like they're always like rock together. You know what I mean? Not rock bottom.
But
Well, maybe rock bottom. But
if you cheated on someone, like, why would you get back with them?
That's my biggest
that's
thing.
the other
That's
thing.
another red flag. Like people that cheat and then get back together and like you're then like seeing them after you found out that they've cheated and it's just like, why the fuck are you still in this relationship? Like, what are you doing?
Oh, it's
Now, I understand love, but there's like, how many times can you get fucked around? It's like,
I read another article. I won't get into the nitty gritty of it, but on that, so there was an article where a bloke says that, he wrote to the same columnist and he said, my girlfriend cheated on me. Now we're back together and my family hate me.
yeah, fuck, I
Right.
would too.
And
Yeah.
I don't blame them because
I'll be all
when
about
she
that.
cheated on him the first time, he broke.
Time, there was another time.
No, but like when she cheated on him.
That was my thought too.
When
yeah,
she
I got
cheated
that.
on him, right? So he went into depression mode. The family was there to pick him up and say, look, man, unfortunate that's happened. Pick yourself up, rah, rah, rah. They supported him. They did everything for him.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's back with that same woman like nothing
Nah.
ever fucking happened.
Nah.
Like
Biggest
you don't do
red
that
flag
shit.
out.
Dude,
Biggest
once a
red
cheater,
flag.
always a cheater.
Yeah,
So,
100%. Yeah.
Number 4, he takes you out on dates.
Yeah, of course. That's stock standard.
With me, probably with you too, it's a little bit different now having the kids and all that. But when I have the opportunity to take the wife out, just the two of us,
You got
we will go out. Like we went out to a place called Fugazi a few weeks
how
ago.
good is that place?
Oh my
It's the
God.
fucking best food ever. It's so good.
So is it killer?
It
It's
is amazing.
fucking amazing. I had
Gotta go.
Oh, it's
And if you
fucking
do
best. The
anything,
steak,
you
the
get
steak.
the whipped ricotta with the Italian puff bread.
So good. The best.
Guys, we're talking about food here, right?
Yeah, I know. It's fucking
Hey, it's like a New York American style Italian restaurant.
It's the fucking best.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
On
like
Lee Street or
gangster.
Bill Street? I can't
The
remember.
Lee Street.
Lee Street.
Lee Street.
Fucking the best.
Oh,
So good.
so good. All right.
Yeah.
Number 5, he supports your decisions.
There's a bit of a thing there though, because if it's a bad decision,
Yeah. So I would say...
like if he goes, I'm going to go rob a bank tomorrow, and you support that decision, you're a fuckhead. That's my thing.
Correct. Look, if it's something they're really passionate about, they really want to do...
Correct.
Go for it.
Correct.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's
Well,
like
the
here,
description here says a guy who is really into you won't make you feel bad about the decisions you make in your life. If he doesn't agree with something, he will tell you in a nice way. However, if something is really important to you, he will support you 100%
Okay, no,
of
I
the
agree
way.
with that.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down with that because if
100%.
I don't agree with something,
give a reason why.
yeah, I give the reason why.
And always
but
vocalise
it's
it as
not,
well, yeah.
Look, a decision that my wife makes is not about me. It's about,
she wants to do.
what
Yeah,
she wants to
100.
do, how she wants to progress with something, or, maybe she wants to change something around the house and all that. Then I come into that because we've
course.
got an agreement there.
Yeah.
But if it's something she wants to do for herself
Yeah.
or to progress, and I go, yeah, no problems, babe.
Yeah.
Go do it, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, number 6, he constantly tries to be better.
Nah, fuck that. Wait, be better for himself? Like one up
Do
her?
better.
Like one up her?
Once you are in a relationship, it doesn't mean he will stop caring. A good boyfriend will constantly try to win you over,
Okay, that's
even
fine.
after he has won you over.
No, that's fine. But I'm saying like one upping, I thought you meant. Like if she's like, oh, I went to the gym and ran 5K, he was like, oh, that's
went to the
great.
gym, I
I
did
ran
6K.
10 kilometers.
No, not like
No,
that.
okay.
Like
Making
be
better,
better
yeah.
as in
No, I
be
agree
a
with
better
that.
person for
Yeah.
her.
No, I agree
Okay.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Number 7, he touches you. Now, is this consensual or?
I assume so.
So are you saying like brushing past and smack them on the ass, or
Guys
brushing
like
past
to
and just-
touch girls and girls like to be touched. See, I don't know when this was written, but this could mean a very different
Too
thing
movement?
today. Like,
You want
like
to get cancelled in the
you
first
know-
video podcast, guys.
yeah, shit. Small gestures like putting his hand on your leg or wrapping his arms around you
fine.
makes
Yeah.
a big difference.
Yeah.
You should feel I don't know, like,
it's
you know, what's wrong with like slapping the ass every time you go into the kitchen and stuff like that?
That's just playful.
Standard.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
He is open and honest with you. Well, you got to
Of
be in a
course.
relationship.
God. Shit.
You gotta
that's
be.
Not,
100%.
that's not happening. Then what is, honestly?
Might not be honest with, you know, some of the gadgets that I buy and how much I
of
spend
course,
on them.
there's
But
like, there's the
What
small
gadgets?
things, though.
What gadgets?
what gadgets?
Yeah, like you're not going to be honest if you're on like the fourth hole of golf and she's like, "Where are you?" And like, "Yeah, I'm nearly done." That's fine.
Yes.
I would say. But like
The little
bigger-
white lie
little white
bullshit.
lie is fine. It's not going to hurt anyone. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the big stuff, you got to be honest
No.
about everything. Yeah,
Number 9, he admires you.
of course, given. Yeah.
Yep.
And then number 10, he considers you his best friend.
I consider my wife my
Yeah,
best
of
friend.
course. Yeah.
Well, I think that's true
Yeah, of
because end of the day, you're going to spend the rest of your life,
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
gonna like
with
them,
this
yeah.
person.
Like, you're
Yeah.
waking up to them every morning,
But
mate.
they know you inside out.
Of course.
You know them inside out.
course, yeah.
So, yeah, you know, that's a pretty big thing.
100%.
So, yeah, 10 things that, you know, he's a good boyfriend.
Yeah, interesting.
But, no, we won't go into that one. That's probably 10 reasons why most men can't handle a deep woman. That could mean many different
Yeah, we're
things.
probably like,
So we
not
won't go
on the
into
first podcast.
we won't go into that one.
mate.
But
Where are you? Just can you tell me what website this is so I can stay the fuck away from it? Honestly,
it's called Thought Catalog.
we've gone from
Catalog.
I even got this one, but I reckon we'll leave this one for one-on-one, like when me and you. 25 cringeworthy sex moves that girls wish guys would stop doing.
yeah, leave that one.
We'll
me
leave that
out of
one. Leave that one.
All right.
Mate, I don't even want to be here for that one.
Just be him in the room on his own.
Yeah, one bloke in a pod.
I've done that before. But on just one more topic, because I love talk. Like, we don't really touch on politics and all in this podcast because that's not what we're like. But I did have a politician on here a few episodes ago in the last season, and she was from One Nation.
Yeah.
So,
I'm fascinated by politics, everything. Australian, American.
well, I
I'm
used to
addicted.
work
Yeah.
in politics, so you know I've got a very big fascination. But this week, I've been very fascinated in America.
God, it's crazy.
The
isn't it?
shitstorm that's happening in
Right.
America at the moment.
Okay, guys, are we pro-Trump here or are we not pro-Trump?
Look, I'm
Well, so-
I'm enjoying watching the Trump rally.
I'm not going to comment on anything, but sometimes some of the stuff he says makes
Look,
sense.
look.
But sometimes he goes over the line. I think if he was, it's hard to answer. I don't want to get cancelled. Leave me alone. But
Yeah,
I think a lot of the things he says is very interesting. That's what I'll say.
I think, and this is just my personal opinion,
Yeah.
I think he wants what's best for the country,
I feel like he has good intentions deep down.
right? And I feel when he's there, the country is better.
It is. It's like if you look at the
Right.
facts, it is. That's the thing.
Right.
Economy, everything. Yeah.
But he needs to fire his publicist.
Oh my God! It's like some of the shit.
How he
portrays himself.
portrays himself and
Yeah.
how he projects everything.
Yeah.
It's like that could have been a bit better.
I really thought DeSantis. Is it DeSantis?
Yeah.
When I woke up to that news this morning, I messaged because my mate Harrison sent it to me in our group chat. Shout out Harrison. He was like, "Have you seen this?" And I was like, "Holy fuck!" Because I did not think he'd drop out. I was like, "He's gonna fucking be there tooth and nail to the end." And then when he was like, "Yeah, I'm like not running anymore." And by the way, back Trump. I was like, "What is going on here?" Because it's like now him and versus Nikki for the pretty much the nominee.
And he's shitting all over Nikki.
Like by 20 points. So it's like he won Iowa. He's probably going to win New Hampshire in the next couple of days. And it's going to get to the point where...
Dude, he's won.
That's the thing. It's
won.
going to get to the point where... The thing is, you know who really needs a good PR person? Joe fucking Biden. That guy has the worst PR team I've ever seen in the history of marketing and social media. Because there's not one good clip about him online. No.
I hate to say this, but he's also had one of the worst presidencies.
Oh, it's been terrible.
He's got to
Like-
be the worst president of all
To
Yeah,
be
I
honest,
think so,
as an
yeah.
Australian,
Yeah.
I really could not give a fuck who's leading America. Honestly,
Yeah.
could not.
No, neither could I.
Right?
Correct, yeah.
But
Their shit becomes our shit.
yeah,
Eventually,
because
'cause we're allies.
we're like the 51st state.
They'll fucking drag us into a
You
war
know,
if they
exactly.
want it, 100%.
Like that. Recently, there was that shit that happened over in in Asia, and America's like telling Australia to get ready.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck would we want to go into war with our goddamn neighbours?
Yeah.
You know? But
I have a whole opinion on Australian politics too, which I'll leave for another time. But
we'll definitely get you back on, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have. I think we've got a Joe Biden of a prime minister, to be honest.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But like, you know, just the
Bring back Johnny Howard.
The fascination of how it's all happening and how it's all unfolding. Like, you know, you had a pool of 8 people that are candidates for the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're all dropping out going, yeah, back Trump, back Trump, back Trump.
But you know what it is? I reckon the one person out of that Republican, Vivek, I really like that guy a lot because he is young to start with. He's actually self-made like Trump with his own businesses, and his policies are really good as well. But the thing is that people aren't ready for someone like Vivek yet. He'll be the type of person that's dropped out now and backed Trump. Trump will get in, and then Trump will endorse him, and he'll go 2028. That's what'll happen.
Yeah.
So I feel like, but you're totally right. I remember watching that first Republican debate, and on CNN they were like, CNN fake news. No, I'm kidding. On CNN they were like, oh yeah, there are 8 candidates, and Trump's not even up there. He doesn't stand a chance. And now it's like 2 of them. And then on CNN this morning they were like, well, we didn't expect this.
Yeah.
Even on Channel 7 this morning, which is traditionally more like left, they were like, well, it's just Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. Like, they were like shocked as well. So it's going to be, and look, I have to admit, I just love when the US, especially with 2016 and 2020, I just love when the US goes to election just for the comedy of it all.
Yeah.
I can sit back and I can just watch these fucking debates go. And Trump during the election year is just hilarious for some of the shit he says.
It's good TV.
It's the fucking best.
Good.
Did you read the article the other day where Putin came out saying that the last elections were rigged?
Oh my God, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? He's like, oh yeah, by the way, he did this whole speech about like the war and everything, and in the last 2 minutes he's like, oh yeah, by the way, to the US citizens, your last election was rigged. We've done an investigation. And it's like no one in the US is like paying attention to that because it's like so obsessed. And the thing about, I feel like with Australian politics, we're very like strong with our views on politics, but we're the type of people that can always meet in the middle and have a discussion, no matter what side you're on. Like if you voted Liberal, you voted Labor, or you voted Greens, or you voted One Nation, I'm not going to come punch you in the street because you voted that way. You know what I mean? I feel like in America they just can't have that conversation. No. And I was in California in 2016. Probably I think it was a month before the primary or whatever it was, and it was on Hollywood Boulevard, and they were doing a big Trump rally, and then this whole fight broke out, and I was like, this is something now. I want to premise this is something you wouldn't see in Australia, but there have been with all the COVID like protests and stuff in early, like a couple of years ago. But yeah, it's just not on that level that I've seen.
But see, we protest here in Australia, but I don't think peaceful. Our people are crazy.
Yeah. No.
Go to Parliament House and you're done.
Black Lives Matters, for example, right? Yeah. One topic I don't like talking about, but Black Lives Matters. Here, peaceful protests.
100%, yeah.
America, half the fucking country was burnt down.
Yeah. They're going to have a civil war if Trump gets in, though. It's going to go, like, not because he's in, but because everyone's just going to lose their mind 100%. It's going to be fucked.
Yeah.
But we'll
he will get in.
I'm calling it now. What date are we? It's like the 22nd of January. I've been saying it since October to my family. He's going to get in.
This time next year,
he'll be in.
We will be talking about his, what is it, inauguration?
Yeah. It was. It's going to be last weekend next year. That's how
last weekend of January.
Yeah. And the thing is what's crazy is that he will get in and it will be by a landslide. Because I think it's so funny because people voted in Biden because they were like, we need to change Trump's shit. Now Biden's gotten in and every comment I see is like, fuck Biden. We want to go back to what we had before.
People that supported Biden are turning around saying, fuck, he's shit. He's ruining our country.
He can't even get off a fucking stage, for fuck's sake.
Man. Some of those things where there's the speech of him with his wife and his daughter next to him. And he goes, guys, I'm here tonight with my daughter and my wife. And they both look at each other and I mean my wife and my daughter. I'm like, bro, how are you leading a country that size? And it's just like, and there's this whole conspiracy theory that Obama's still behind it and all that shit.
Oh, 100%.
Have you heard that? Because he was like, he's the only person that hasn't moved back to his home state after leaving the presidency. He's still got a mansion like 2 minutes from the White House. Everyone's like, he's still pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Well, I heard rumors that Obama's wife is actually a bloke.
Yeah, I've seen. Oh, mate, the conspiracy TikToks, man. I go deep on that shit at 3 a.m. I'm scrolling.
How bad is TikTok though? Like
No,
when
it's
you
bad.
find something really good, you just fall into this well.
So my big thing though was I was all Instagram reels. I was like, they were perfect. They're like, because Instagram was trying to steal people from TikTok, and they made the algorithm so tailored. If you like one thing, you would just get banger after banger after banger of videos. Then I updated TikTok probably a week and a half ago. All I'm using now is TikTok because they redid their algorithm and it's just fucking spot on. So last night, it's so bad. I like pause to show them in a little. I'll be like, oh yeah, I watched TikTok for like 10 minutes. Last night I was on for 3.5 hours and I was like, yeah, I'll get back to my show. And I'm like, fuck me, it's 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, it's fucked. But it's so addictive though because like banger after banger after banger after banger. It's fucked.
Well,
One last question.
yes.
Tim Tam, chocolate or a biscuit?
Fuck me. I'm going to say biscuit has to be.
There you go.
It's a biscuit.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, no,
has to be.
I have accepted defeat.
Yeah,
It's a
you
biscuit.
have to.
I have accepted
You have
defeat.
to. This is a
It's a
man
biscuit.
that's got nothing to do with our debate.
Yeah, no.
Who has just said it's a biscuit.
I went with the first thing that came to mind and it has to be biscuit because like, yeah, it is.
One, it's made by Arnott's, who only make biscuits.
Chucking that shit in the freezer is goated though. Anyone done that?
What?
that?
Chucking Tim Tams in the freezer for like 45 minutes.
No, what was that? What do you mean?
Makes them ice cold and it's the best fucking thing you'll ever eat.
Oh wow.
It is the best.
I'm just going to text the missus now.
Yeah, do it.
Just
Maybe not 45, maybe 30, but it makes them like cold, and it's fucking like during summer too. It's fucking perfect.
My favourite's a Tim Tam Slammer.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that next. The best, the fucking best. They're
Hot
so
cup of
good.
coffee,
They're
Tim
so
Tam,
good.
bite each end, bang. See you later. All right, so tell us, socials. How can we reach you on socials? How can people find you on socials?
Kieran_Davidson on TikTok, Kieran Davidson 1998 on Instagram. What else have we got? Katie Vlogs on Facebook, and I just started a new running TikTok, running with Kieran as well recently.
Running with
Starting to
Kieran.
upload as well.
Awesome.
And our socials.
Two blokes in a pod.
Yes, that's right. So
Testing you there. He was testing you like, what is it?
I can't be the one always saying it. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just search Two Blokes in a Pod as one word.
We're gonna be going ham with the videos. Get ready.
And very soon, very
YouTube is
soon,
coming.
our YouTube is coming.
Get ready.
But for now, check out our TikTok. Make sure you get on it because we've got big things happening.
Be so good.
Kieran,
Beautiful.
thank you.
Thank you.
You have been an absolute pleasure to talk
that.
with.
Love it.
And your energy is just second to none, man. It's
you.
Mate, we could have been hours here,
Oh,
honestly.
mate, for sure.
On
We've done
hours.
like 6 hours, yeah. I'll see you back on the dance floor at the Titans dinner later this year.
I think I'm,
I hope
I might have to swing past, boys.
Surely
Surely
they're
they
doing it
should
again.
introduce a gents' night or something, right?
No, but no. Did you go to the poker night though?
No, I didn't. No, I
It was
was.
the best fucking night ever. They had
Yeah?
strippers and everything. It was wild.
Oh wow! Okay, I better come to the
You
next
have to.
one
It
then.
was the fucking
Maybe
best.
that is the gents' night
Oh,
now.
I
Yeah.
might happen I just might just walk down to the club room.
Yeah, I think
down
you
the road
did.
from my
It was
house.
the best. Oh, so good. It was the best.
Wow, there you go.
you go.
Okay.
All right. I don't know how to play poker, but I'll go.
No, neither did I. I lost all my money.
Okay, killer. All right. Thank you, man.
Thanks again, mate.
Really
Cheers.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stamati,
Cheers.
thank you very much. Another episode down.
Down.
We will be back with more next week. I'm not going to tell you what's happening next week because I reckon we're going to get really excited about that. But for now, I'm very excited about what we've just done.
Fuck yeah.
So am I.
So thanks, guys.
Thank you.